Am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Cornelius Dawson Williams.
Oh, nice one, nice one. Mr. William, do you own an EV?
Yeah, that's my car.
This is your car, right?
Yes.
What type is it?
This is a BYD U1 Plus. The European version is the Atto 3. This is the 2022.
This is the 2022, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. But before then, Mr. William, before you own an EV, what was your biggest fear for someone who is driving an EV in Ghana here? What's your biggest fears?
Okay, so to start with, I was in particular not so cool with EVs in general to start with. It was a gentleman who introduced me to it. I just had to test drive, and then it changed my whole view of electric cars. But initially, before I got introduced, my issue is, of course, to buy fuel is faster. I mean, you're just going to stand at the pump, less than 5 minutes.
No,
Straight, yeah. But for an EV, you have to charge for hours. Yes, so that was the issue. Although right now there are technologies that they are building up to get the cars to charge faster, like under 5 minutes or within 5 minutes. Yeah. But my issue primarily was, is it a reliable car? That was my issue, because I didn't want to get a car that would later on have issues with. Of course, the mechanical ones have its own downsides. Today it's plugged, tomorrow you have problems with your belts, and then the AC motor is getting worn out, and there's some bearing issues on this and that and that. But after getting this car, then I noticed that, no, see, all those things are just hearsays, they're all hooks. I have not one single regret.
Oh, that's nice. Let's talk about the saving aspects. So, in terms of the savings, compare it to the fuel car you normally use to currently using an EV, compared to the savings in terms of the fuel and also the maintenance. In using it in Ghana here, what do you think? How many money have you been saving so far, as compared to when you are using the
yeah? So initially I was using a Hyundai Elantra. That's a 2016. Per my rounds every day, I bought fuel 300 cedis every day. Yes, on a daily 300 cedis. So comparing that to this, I would give you a small calculation for you to understand how much money I'm saving. So let's say 300 cedis for the whole week. We have 5 days, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if we are multiplying the 3 by the 5, that gives us like how much? That's 1,500, right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm spending every week.
Every week, each and every week.
I don't have a choice unless I don't go anywhere. But if I have to do my runs, 1,500 the whole week. The whole week I have to pay 1,500. But for this, when I charge, let's say I charged on Monday from 0. Let's say I used the car over the weekend. So from Sunday entering Monday. It's 0. Let's say 0.
It's 0,
okay.
Right? Let's say
0. I charge to 100%. That would cost me like 90 cedis.
90 cedis?
Yes, 90 cedis. At most, let's say maybe, I don't know what happened. The tariff just went higher, or whatever reason it is. I'm spending, let's say, even 100 cedis. That's how much it is. This is a 430 kilometer. So from 0 to 100 will give me 430 kilometers. But I charge it for a maximum of 100 cedis. Since I'm using the home charger.
Since you are using the home charger, that's
yes. But of course, if I'm charging at the charging station, it will cost me somewhere around 180. Let's say 200 cities.
Let's say 200.
Because it's a commercial.
That's commercial.
They have to charge premiums on it for them.
And that's per day, right?
No, so that is for the car to have the 430. Now I'm coming to give you the backside to it. So on a regular, if I do all my rounds within a day, that movement that cost me 300 cedis for the Elantra would have just cost me 100 cedis for this. But wait, I have 50% left in the car to continue the next day. If you suppose I didn't even use the whole 50%, and I'm being left with, let's say, 56%, I can still do half of what I was supposed to do within a full day. The next day. Yes. Which means that if I'm even charging the next day, I'll end up spending, let's say, because it's not 0.
It's not 0, it's 50%.
It's 50%. So I'll spend, let's say, around 40 cedis. So give and take, if I'm spending 150 the next day, 100 the next, 50 the next, that will give me somewhere around 300-400 cedis to end the week.
To end the week. But let's say roughly 400 Ghana cedis to 500 Ghana cedis.
So how much? Comparing that to 1,500, how much do I get to save?
So you get to save about 1,000 Ghana cedis.
1,000 Ghana. That's the realistic thing about it. And the range for this car is much more realistic than people say, oh, because you are using AC, you are pushing the car. when you drive the car on a normal drive, not pushing the car like you're going top speed and then doing overtaking and stuff, you get to see the range as it is.
Hey.
Yes, because the more you use, the more you accelerate. Just like petrol, it burns more petrol.
Okay.
When you accelerate with an EV, it burns more battery.
Okay.
So, but for you to see it, it has the eco, it has the normal, it has the sports mode. You can be able to gradually manage the battery's economy, just as you would do with a petrol vehicle.
Oh, that's nice. That surprised you after owning the EV. Like you were, hey, how I wish I could buy this thing from the beginning. While I'm waiting all this while. So the surprise is what? After using it, after buying it and using it for a while.
I don't miss going to fuel pumps.
Hey.
I used to think that maybe I might miss buying. I don't miss buying fuel.
Hey.
I don't miss it. I don't miss buying fuel. The car is swift. I can overtake fast. It's swift because, of course, for an automatic petrol car, changing gears, this doesn't change gears. So if you don't want to give me way in traffic, I'll take it before you even know it. That is how swift these cars are. It's very fast, and then because it's silent, you get to, like in traffic, there's no vibration. The car is silent at stop. When you are moving, it's silent. There's no sound, there's no vibration. I can hear every single tire move on the road. If there's a fault in the suspension, I could get to hear it because the car is silent. It doesn't have an engine. So it's silent.
It's silent like that.
Silent.
It's silent to me because when I sit inside this car and I realize that
it's very silent.
Do you see that I asked you that have you sparked the car?
If I should even turn off the air condition, you won't hear a goddamn thing. You think the car is just, I've turned it off.
I said the car is smooth, to be honest. It's not about bragging. The car is very smooth. Another one. So, Mr. William, what is the disadvantage of using this EV for a while? What is the disadvantage?
Okay, because I am someone who is very planned and intentional about doing my stuff. I've heard of cases where people have had their cars stuck and they had to tow. That's a downside to this. Yes, aside that, the availability of spare parts, even common wipers, even car wipers, is difficult to get.
In Ghana,
yes, unless the ones that have incorporated the European wiper system, but there are a few. Because with this car in particular, I'm not getting its wiper. Yeah, I had one person who, I don't know how he got it. He said he had it, but it's not the regular ones. Those boys who sell in traffic, you can't get any of these cars wipers from them. Aside that, even brake parts, the brake parts are not here. There are some people who sell it, I think at Spintex, but for them it's because they sell the cars. It's the reason why they have it, and it's a bit pricey. Yeah. But my issue is with the fact that there is little support. Even when you talk about software support, talk about mechanics, like people who have been tuned or have learned how to be able to work on these cars. Their availability is very few. There are a lot of them around, not that much compared to the petrol mechanics, you understand? But for these cars, they are just a few. So it makes it a bit some way. Although I'm someone who takes risks a lot. So this is not much of an issue for me, but it would be for some other people. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So in total, have this car frustrated you in certain way?
For this car, no.
Frustration.
I've driven it through floods. The last time flooded, drive through flood. Of course, if the flood is up to the tire level, it will still go through.
It will go through. So for you, this car have not.
I don't have my regret is that I should have had this sooner. Because the car may blow petrol companies. Another
one, Mr. William, if somebody have money, like you want to go and buy a car, which is more similar like this one, will you recommend the person to go and buy an electric car, or you still tell the person to go and buy a petrol car?
No.
Your experience?
No, so per my experience, I'll tell the person, if you can either buy a plug-in hybrid, which is parts electric, parts petrol, it will be good. You see that you're buying a part petrol, part electric, or you're buying full electric. Because with the full electric, it's just as someone who would say, oh, I'm driving just a petrol car, I don't want any issues. But the petrol car, there are downsides. Too many movable parts in the car. There are too many movable parts that need maintenance all the time. For the EVs, it's less maintenance. And there are specific brands, because one thing people need to take into consideration is that EVs in general, coming from China, not all of them are good.
Not all of them are good.
Yes, not all of them are good. Not all of them are good. There are a lot of them that don't have market support. There are a lot of them that have been discontinued. There are a lot of them that have been recalled. They are not doing it anymore because of the response they got. But you know, China, they are there.
They are there.
You want it, they'll sell it to you. You understand?
Okay. So if I may ask, let me chip in here. If I may ask, what are some brands that you recommend for some people to buy from?
So for me, I would always say this, and then it is not something that I would think twice about. It's a BYD. BYD is China's number one. They started doing batteries even before I was born. You understand? Yeah.
That means they have been there for
They've
ages.
been there for ages. BYD is not something they, of course, that they just started doing batteries. That is why, if you look at their cars in general, the battery is the engine. It is the part of the car that is strong. So let's compare it to these Toyotas. You say Toyota engines are strong, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Even when it's somersaults and then you push it down and the tires hit the floor, you start the car to start. It's the same for BYD. Their batteries have gone through test. So they are very strong, so much that they don't even deplete all the time. So if you are buying an EV, you rest assured know that just as you buy a Toyota that would last you, if you are buying a BYD, the battery is just as it should be for you. That is why I would suggest that if anyone is buying a car, if they can only afford it, because of course BYD range of like pricing is slightly higher than the others. So it is better for you to buy a BYD because of its good, robust battery that comes with it. For me, I'm getting the best out of this battery because it's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is. Another one, Mr. William, if you could have money again and you want to go and buy a car, will you buy a petrol car or so you buy an EV car?
No, if I have more, I would even buy what's it called, a mix of it, because for BYDs they are plug-in hybrids to behave like electric.
The plug-in hybrids.
Yeah, the engine just charges the car's battery, so it turns on, charges in terms of. You understand? That way you have a longer range. For me, it's either I'm getting a car that has a longer range, right, or I'll just use a smaller range for a full EV. But if I want longer range, I'll buy a plug-in hybrid, because that one will give me within the thousands. So yeah, because for the highest, I think it's 1,200 for the BYDs. I think there's more. Their sports cars do more than that, but they're trying to push it, because there are ones that are coming in with extended ranges and stuff.
Because that one is very necessary when it comes to the ranges. That one is very. Your own is how many ranges?
This 430.
430.
So 430 means I can go to Kumasi, but I can't return. So when I get there, I have to top up and then come.
It makes sense, because using petrol from 3 Ghana to driving to Kumasi.
Can you imagine if I charge 100 to Kumasi? Can you imagine?
That's how we top up.
With full AC. I don't even need to turn off my AC. So if you notice, most of the EVs don't really turn off the AC.
Yes, they always the
it's
AC
always
is
on.
Your last submission you want to give to the public concerning about the EV.
People, we need to change our mindset. I keep saying this. We need to change the way we think. You understand? Because that's the only limitation we will get. Considering these vehicles, you understand? It is just as durable as a Toyota. People say, oh, it hasn't been long in the market. No, people have made mistakes. The Chinese will learn. They don't need to repeat the same mistakes you've been making whilst you were producing your vehicles. No, they saw the mistakes you made. They will correct it. So whatever it is that they are bringing onto the market, just look for the best ones and then embrace it. It is the best.
It's the best.
I don't have one single regret. I've used Kia. I've used Hyundai. At one point, I almost used what's it called? What's the name of this car? Ford. I did before Ford. It's a bomb. But I forget. I also almost used the Chevy. And no, it also won't work. So for me, I feel that if we are all embracing this, one, they are cheaper. Costs to run it is very cheap. Spare parts availability. Luckily, I am going to be pushing spare parts as well. I am a spare parts dealer actually. So if there are spare parts you need, they are readily available. I could show you places you could get them. I also get them myself.
Okay, nice one. So William, thank you very much for your nice interview. Darling.